Okay, let's talk about sales process and path. So, on this particular section, we are going to create a sales process and a path. So, what is a sales process? It's basically to help your organization and your staff members to see where an opportunity is at visually, so they can see, oh, this grant opportunity, for example, is currently on the prospecting stage, right? The next stage would be letter of intent submitted, application submitted, and then it's closed. Either the grant was approved or denied. So you can create your own custom stages of an opportunity in your organization. So any case or any situation, you can create the appropriate stages of the opportunity, and on each stage you can create what it's called a path. So what is a path? A path is a guided section on the opportunity record page so that your staff member can easily navigate through what needs to be done to complete the current stage. For example, if the stage is prospecting, the staff needs to make a phone call to the contact or to the account and follow up, and then whatever needs to be done, it's going to be presented there. Let's see, it's going to be presented like so. Where is it? This is the path settings. This is where you configure it, and then see, it's going to be shown like this. These are the key fields that needs to be completed. This is the guidance for success to completing this particular stage that the opportunity is currently at. So let's dive in so we can see how it works on a real world example. So I'm going to dive into my sandbox here. So this is a sandbox. So first things first, you need to create an opportunity record type for the process or a particular process that you want to build. So let's follow the example of this particular grant process. So pretend we are a nonprofit organization and we are applying for grants from other organization to fund our costs, right? So we want to create a grant process. These are the process stages: prospecting, letter of intent submitted, application submitted, withdrawn if we withdraw our application, declined, and or awarded. So these are the stages that we already know. So let's build this up. First step, you would need to create an opportunity record type that will accommodate that process. So if I go to my object manager, so we are going to go to our opportunity object, and then we are going to create a new record type, and we're going to name it grant. That's the first step. As long as it's loading here, this particular training one sandbox is pretty slow, I noticed. So let's be patient. All right, so opportunity. On the opportunity object, you scroll down to the record types here. Let's see what we have so far. Oh, we already have a grant record type. So if you have installed Nonprofit Success Pack NPSP. This is probably already created. So we have a grant record type. If you don't have this, you can create a new one by hitting the new record type, right? And then fill this up. What's the name of it? And then activate that. And then enable for your profile or all profiles. And then that's it. So first things first, record type for grant is already created. The second step would be to create a sales process for that process. So I'm going to search sales process here on my setup and then hit sales processes. We have orders, donations. This is another thing. Adjustment. We do not have one for grants. So let's create one. Let's name this grant. Grant. Grant process. And I'm going to hit save there. So what are the stages for the grant process? Well, we don't have the ones we want, right? Because it's not created yet. So we have to create the stages first. So I'm going to just go back and remove here. And let's just choose closed one. For now, we'll go back to here. So we have a grant process, but before we actually use it, we want to go to the opportunity. Again, I should have gone here before. So opportunity, and then we are going to fields and relationship, and we are going to add the stages that we need for the grant. So right now, this is what we have, right? So this is what was available. Let's add a new one. So if I go back here, we have prospecting, letter of intent submitted. I think I saw prospecting there. So I'm going to hit letter of intent submitted. It's 20% pipeline. So if I go back here, 20% pipeline, and I'm just going to choose this is available for grant, right? Save and new. What's the next one? Application submitted, 30% pipeline. We are going to build this up. Keep going there. So 30% open pipeline, save and new. Oh, this is available for grant. The grant record type. And then the next one is withdrawn, which is a closed loss. So 0% omitted. Okay, so we have what we need over here. So now if I go back to my sales process over here, go back to my grant. So there we have it. So we have close one, right? And then letter of intent submitted, application submitted, withdrawn, declined, and close lost actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have everything we need. I'm going to save that now. So we have a sales process defined. We have the opportunity record type grant, and we have the stages correctly set. Next is we can set the path or the guide. Okay, so if I go back here, so we've done that. We've set up this, we've set up that, we've set up that. the stages, right? We've done that. Now we will see this. Okay, let's create an example. So, for example, Bart Simpson here creates a new grant opportunity for Bart Simpson. Okay, let's navigate to the related tab. Here we want to create a new grant opportunity. So on opportunities here, I'm going to create a new grant for Bart. So record type is grant. Next. Let's choose that we are now on the prospecting stage. And let's choose a close date by the end of August. Bart grant. And I am going to save this. So now we can see we have the process or the stages here. If we navigate to the opportunity, there we have a visual process stages. So prospecting. The next one is letter of intent submitted, application submitted, and then it's closed or awarded. So the next step is we want to create the guide or the path for each particular stage, but we are just going to show you one, and you can create the other stages, the guides on your own. All right, so let's go. If I go back here, so we are going to go to the path. So edit path in NPSP. So select the setup icon and then path settings. So go back to here and home, and I'm going to go to path settings here. We are going to make a new path for the opportunity. I'm going to make a new path. I'm going to hit next. Come on, takes a bit. Let's hit setup. Oh, there you go. So path name, let's name this, what do they want to name this? Let's name this, where is the grant path, right? Let's just name it grant path. Grant path. So the object is the opportunity object. We are creating the path, on the opportunity object over here. The record type is the grant. Okay, pick list is the stage. Okay, so the stage of grant. Then we can create some guides. So if it's prospecting, what key fields do you want to highlight on the top there? So prospecting, let's choose an example. So we have a bunch of fields here, right? For prospecting, for example, ask date. Let's try that. So if I bring a field over here, and I'm just going to choose ask date, save. So ask date will be available for the user or the staff to work on. Okay, to update, so to speak. Now, if I provide a guide, this is a free typing thing. You can add images, you can format your typing. Okay, guide for this success is call the grant provider and ask if our organization will qualify for the grant, for example. Okay, so this is for the prospecting stage. So the letter of intent submitted, you can also do the same thing. So the letter of intent submitted, You can add more fields. Let's see the example here, so I'm not just creating stuff that doesn't make sense. So for example, on-site visit, well, they have a different approach. So they're talking about the on-site visit, which we don't have. We haven't added that stage yet. So let's just stick with the, with the letter of intent submitted. Let's just pick a random fields to choose. For example, I want to choose what makes sense. I'm not sure. Well, what is it called? Letter of intent submitted, right? Let's put custom text there. Okay, and I'm gonna just hit save and pretend this is the letter of intent letter. Okay, put the letter of intent text on the custom text field available, just for an example. Alright, so let's finish this up. So you can create this guidance for each stage. Okay, so if I hit next, and then we are going to activate your path. Let's activate the path. Enable celebrations. Sure, woohoo, we have some, when it's submitted, it's going to, I'll show you. It's going to have that confetti things, like a party when you finish a trailhead section. So that is save. So we've just created a new grant path, right? And it's active. So now if I go back to the Bart Simpson path, let me just refresh this thing to make sure all the changes is applied. So guidance for success. You can click that arrow, call the grant provider, and ask if our organization will qualify for the grant. So the key field needs to be brought up, which we haven't put it there, but you know what I mean. If we have there's a date field I've put here, right? So on here, you actually, here, key fields, you actually need to bring the key fields up on the page layout. Let me just refresh it one more time over here. Yeah, it's not available on this page layout. I think that field is not visible, right? I chose the wrong field. But if there's a key field, you will see it here, because it will highlight the key fields that you can edit. All right. So if I hit next or mark stage as complete, now we go to the letter of intent submitted stage. There, see? Now you have the key fields because the custom text is writable. The other one is not. It's a bad example field I dragged there because that field is not accessible. Okay, so now you can put the letter of intent. This is the letter of intent that was sent blah blah blah. So once you save that and then you mark stage as complete, we will have a little celebration. Boom! Where's the celebration, man? Yeah, it should have like celebration going on there. That's okay. Maybe I skip a step, or sometimes once you apply a change, it doesn't affect immediately. So let's go back here and do our quiz. So that's pretty much it. So what are grouped together and map progress through a sale or grant donation process? Grouped together. Opportunity stages. Right? True or false? The path component is only available on the opportunity project. False, because when we were creating, you see we can choose other object Remember? If you don't remember, just move back, rewind the video, and see when we were creating the path. You can choose any other object. Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Woohoo! Hit that subscribe button and explore new trailhead grounds and learn to implement the most useful and popular apps on the Salesforce App Exchange. And do yourself a favor, like this video, and you'll be surprised on how much more you understand when watching this same video after liking it. Don't take my word. Watch this one more time after you like the video and see it for yourself. Bada bing, bada boom.